morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And today we have a guest.
Hi, I'm BJ Baraker.
Sorry, we did not plan that as well as we could. Welcome to the show, BJ. Thanks for sponsoring the Dice Tower and coming on.
Absolutely, love you guys.
We were just talking. BJ was at the retreat last year, which was a lot of fun, and it feels like I know that Dice Tower East has been over for like 4 days now, but it feels like it was just yesterday. Maybe that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a couple things here, folks. First of all, we have a contest for Bezier Games. Now, I'm showing you Cat in a Box here because it's a great game. In fact, I'm reviewing it in a couple weeks. Great trick-taking game. In fact, I think we're playing it live next week as part of the Summer Spectacular. But also, they make a game called Where Words. It basically mixes 20 questions with, well, a hidden traitor. You can win a copy of Where Words, the deluxe edition, by answering this question. What's the highest number of people who can play Where Words Deluxe Edition? I don't even know. I'll guess that it's 9, but who knows? Maybe it's more than 9. I don't know. Anyway, you need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word words. Put the word words. No, the word is words. Anyway, and then in the body, answer that question. And so hopefully you win a copy. We'll set it out. So that's our contest. Also, if you've been keeping an eye on things, in September, the World Series of Board Games is coming up. And I'm excited about that. I'll be there as a special guest and I'll be sponsoring the Open Gaming Room. So hopefully you have a chance to come there and play games, and I'll say hi to you there. And then finally, next week, or like 4 days, the Summer Spectacular begins.
Already? Oh my goodness.
Y'all are crazy.
Well, Z, you're the one who scheduled it that way. So anyhow, don't argue. Don't argue. Christmas in July. Concentrate on that.
Okay, fine.
But the Summer Spectacular, folks, we have a lot of games we'll be playing live. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm really excited. We're announcing the Dice Tower Awards, and we have an announcement video with we have some really great announcements, like really cool stuff. I'm going to see how many announcements we have here so far. We have, that's 6 times 8. We have 19 announcements and some really big stuff, some really cool things. Z doesn't even know what they are yet.
I don't know what they are. I'm actually pretty psyched to find this out, but I'll find out when you folks find out. I'll be watching the video live just like you, and then we'll do a little reaction to it. So I can't wait. It's going to be a good Summer Spectacular.
I agree. Well, so before we jump into the show here, BJ, we want to say welcome again. What's your favorite game so we can judge you by it?
Honestly, probably Five Tribes. That's way up on my list. But I like Five Tribes. Also like, I don't know, So Clover is another one that's getting played by my family. My wife and I love Letters from Whitechapel. So, a whole bunch of different ones.
Those are, wow, 3 very different games.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've got Diplomacy up here because I don't like my friends.
Wow. Do you actually play Diplomacy?
It's been ages since I played Diplomacy, but yeah, I'd play.
Has no friends left.
That's right.
He took them out one by one.
No, we used to play remotely via email, and so there was some app, Realpolitik or something like that, we could play on that would do the moves for you.
Yeah, there's some really good apps out there for Diplomacy. I haven't heard anyone play that in ages. Do we have it in Dice Tower Library? I think I took it out. We call ourselves the friendliest convention on earth. Having Diplomacy in the library seems counterintuitive. But at the same time, I feel like I would put it in just because.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the most part, I just like to play games, whatever it happens to be.
Oh, well, then you fit in fine with many people who are watching. All right. Well,
friends.
Mr. Bonikers is not here today, so it's going to be me versus you in just a moment. But before we get to that, here's some folks to talk to you.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to By the Numbers. I'm Hunter Thomason. This is my wife, Rebecca. Hello. A special guest, but maybe a recurring guest. We'll have to see. It's really up to her. We're doing By the Numbers. We're doing my Through the Years series, where I look at the best game, Board Game Geek. By year, we started way back in 1970. This time, 2016. Woo-hoo.
So let's take a look at this handy dandy top 5 chart of 2016, and you'll notice number 1 is Terraforming Mars, which happens to be number 5 on the BGG list of all time.
Terraforming Mars is a Tableau engine building game where you're drafting cards, building out a tableau, all in an effort to terraform Mars. You're adding water, you're adding plants, you're adding cities, you're throwing asteroids, you're destroying things, you're blowing things up, but mostly you're trying to get victory points.
So not only is it a top 5er of all time on BGG, it's one of our personal favorite games as well, so much so that we got that big Ultra Box Edition. In fact, it's coming now.
Taking a look at the rankings of Terraforming Mars, we see lots of 8s and 9s and 10s for an overall rating of 8.4. Taking a look at the weight, comes in at 3.25. It's kind of a mid-range, middle of the pack, but I think it's a little heavier maybe than 3.25. Recently, a somewhat lighter version of Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition, came out, but in my opinion, it is a very different game. It kind of reminds me of Race for the Galaxy, and it doesn't kind of fill the void for us anyway, because Terraforming Mars is pure greatness.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're going to look at Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. There are 2 ways to win the game. 1, get rid of all your noodles, or get rid of all of the cards in your hand. On your turn, you're going to roll the 2 dice. If I rolled a 4, if you have a 4, you will simply discard it. If you don't have a 4, then the other players can discard from their hand. If you were to roll a 7, Cheezosaurus Rex will move up on the track, and it will tell you here how many noodles you have to give up, and you have to throw those into the pot. Unless you can play a Cheezosaurus Rex card. If you have a Cheezosaurus Rex card, then you don't have to give up any noodles when Cheezosaurus Rex moves up. That's the entire game. Roll the dice. If you have a card that matches it, discard it. Otherwise, everybody else can do that. Well, some of you are watching this going, what the heck did I just watch? Yes, a board game based on Kraft Macaroni and Cheese does exist, and it's as terrible as you would envision. With that said, this is probably my most played game of 2022 because my 4-year-old sees this game and wants to play the Kraft Macaroni and Cheese game, which makes it impossible for me to get rid of. But do the mechanism, the IP match? No, sort of. There is a little bit about throwing the noodles into the pot. Doesn't make sense why you only do it when Cheezosaurus Rex, because whenever I made Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, Cheezosaurus Rex does not jump up, but it is what it is. The shedding of the cards is weird, how you're rolling the dice. It has nothing to do with making macaroni and cheese or eating a macaroni and cheese or enjoying macaroni and cheese, so it really fails in that part. But the throwing in the pot, I guess that makes a little bit of sense, but it's got such a terrible game. There's nothing going on here. I think for the target market who would actually enjoy this children's food, the game doesn't really make any sense, and it's really, 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 really bad. So nothing to see here. Skip this one. Awful game. Mechanism and IP do not match. One of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
You gotta let me know. Okay. Whoa. Hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Showdown. I'm going to be pitting these 2 gentlemen against each other. I'm going to drop a poll in the comments right now. Blammo! That work? Yes. There we go. Go ahead and follow that poll, folks. Answer one of the answers there. Just the best one that suits you. I'm sure you could, maybe pick multiples, but just pick the best one. And these guys are going to be using that data to answer some questions. So we have a few questions coming up here. This one happens to be, which of these games needs a sequel, is the question. And the choices are as follows. You guys might want to jot these down. So the choices are alphabetically: Aquatica, Mechs versus Minions, Robinson Crusoe, Scythe, and Wingspan. There are 5 choices. Again, Aquatica, Mechs versus Minions, Robinson Crusoe, Scythe, and Wingspan. And
Robinson Crusoe, this time, he's off the island.
And you guys are going to be selecting which ones you think got the most votes. So you can pick a single one. And if it is the absolutely top voted one, you're going to get a point for that. You can pick number 1 and number 2. If they are both right, you get 2 points. Or you can pick 3. Same deal, 3 points, but they all have to be right in the right order. And that's as many as you can pick. You can pick up to 3. You're going to jot these down, obviously, at the same time, and then you'll share that list with me, and then we will go through what the folks voted on and what the selection ended up being. So go ahead and decide among those, and then I will drop the link to the next one in the comments. And
so I'm not just saying these 3 are in the top 3. I've got to say this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3.
That is correct. You have to actually rank them.
Oh,
if you that's think much harder.
That's way harder. Good night.
I guess we could do, let me see, 1.
No, I'm good
2.
with that. I got it.
Yeah, let's see how it goes, and then we can switch it up if we think that's too hard.
Well, it's probably not as hard if we just pick one. That's what BJ, you should do. Pick one. I picked all 5. I did all 5 in order.
Am I giving good advice here? I don't know.
No, never.
I don't think you should trust him. Yeah.
My opponent.
You can't trust me about anything, including my reviews. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
All right, folks. So I've got my results here, guys. Let's hear. Are you guys ready? Tom, how many did you pick?
I picked 3. I'm gonna see what happens. If this fails, I might pick 1 on the next one.
Okay, you picked all 3. And then BJ, how many did you pick?
2.
You picked 2. All right. Tom, what do you got?
Well, the 1 and 2 is what worries me. I think with our audience, 1 would be Scythe, then 2 Wingspan, and 3 Mechs versus Minions.
Got it. Scythe,
I'm not confident at all.
Wingspan, and then Mechs. Okay. BJ, what did you pick?
I picked number 1 to be Scythe as well, but number 2 I picked Mechs versus Minions.
Ooh, you think there's like anti-Wingspan people out there?
It's possible. I've heard of such rumors.
Yeah, it's there. I don't know.
All right, guys. So here is the order from the bottom to the top. Okay. Number 5, Wingspan. It's the lowest rank.
Oh, really? Boo! Come on, people.
Immediately you are out, Tom. Number 4, Robinson Crusoe, which neither one of you picked. That's fine. Number 3 is Aquatica, which means the first and second place are Scythe and Mechs versus Minions. They are, however, Mechs versus Minions at the top, then Scythe below that. I think my scoring might be a little too punishing, so I think
maybe if you get the right order, you get double points or something.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds brilliant. It's like this guy's made games and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 points, BJ. You have 2 points, and Tom has nothing right now. Ooh. Let's go ahead and get our next poll here ready.
Wingspan haters, you know you all want flower span and you want insect span. Actually, I would definitely play the crap out of insect span.
Yeah, I would too.
That's very strange. Insect span. All right.
Bug span.
So here we go. There is the next poll, ladies and gentlemen. I just dropped in the new poll. And this one is going to be, which of these still holds up? And again, I just want you to pick the best one. Which of these still holds up? Here are your options alphabetically. Agricola, Catan, Dominion, Lords of Waterdeep, and Ticket to Ride. Again, those are Agricola, Catan, Dominion, Lords of Waterdeep, and Ticket to Ride. Whew. And we will just do that. We'll just do that. The rule is you can pick 1, 2, or 3. If they are in the 1, the 2, or the 3, you get a point per. If they're in the right order, I'll double your points. And if Tom loses tremendously to the scoring system, it's his own fault. That's what happens when you try to balance my games.
I'm not sure that's going to happen after this question, though. Good grief.
I'm sure you guys can do this just fine. So again, Agricola, Catan, Dominion, Lords of Waterdeep, or Ticket to Ride. And again, folks, if you're voting on these, I know you might think, all 5 of these hold up just fine. Fine. Pick the one that best answers the question. All right.
Well, I'm ready, but I'm not confident. I'm less
ready?
confident than the first time, and the first time I messed up.
Oh, boy. All right, well, I've got, as of right now, plenty of votes. So if you guys have written down your answers, let's go ahead and hear them. I'm going to start with you, BJ. How many did you pick?
I just went with 2 again. That seemed to work okay the first time.
All right, 2. Tom, did you go with 3 again?
No, I went down to 2.
You went down to 2. Okay. BJ, what do you got?
I said number 1 is Lords of Waterdeep, and number 2 is Ticket to Ride.
Lords of Waterdeep, Ticket to Ride.
There is no confidence behind that answer whatsoever.
And then, Tom, what did you pick?
I'm saying, oh, man, now BJ has me all rattled. Number 1, Dominion, and number 2, Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, these are not the answers I'd pick for me, but I think the poll.
Now, for me, I mean, I would have put Ticket to Ride in, but I wonder, there's so many expansions. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Interesting. Well, starting from the bottom, I think it's no surprise. Catan has a singular vote as of right now.
Yeah, that one, that wasn't on my radar.
So Catan is the lowest one. Following that, Agricola is the next one. So the other 3 are in the top 3.
Well, I'll tell you why I didn't pick Agricola, because nobody checked out Agricola at Dice Tower East.
Well, that's insider information, Tom. You're not supposed to be using insider information.
Okay, let me.
I call shenanigans.
Shenanigans have been called. We are going to the judges. There are no judges there. So we're going to go ahead and continue. All right, now, number 3, unfortunately for both of you, is Lords of Waterdeep.
Balderdash. Lords of Waterdeep is a great game and holds up today.
You're both messing up. You're both going to get no points whatsoever. Number 2 was Dominion. Number 1, Ticket to Ride. Should have gone with your gut, Vassal.
If I had said number 3, Ticket to Ride, I would have actually scored points.
You would have scored points, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, see? This game has hidden depth, okay? Have you heard of Arc Nova? For suckers. This is the game you've been looking for, okay? If you want a rich, tactically rich Euro-style game, more like Caribbean-style game, I suppose. That's where I'm from. All right. Well, let's go ahead and find the next one. You both got no points for that. The next one. Let me get this link, copy it, drop it in the comments, folks. Here we go. Bam! There it is. Click on that straw poll and give me some votes. The question is as follows. Which of these is too long? Which of these is too long? And the choices are, again, alphabetically. First one, I just mentioned it, Arc Nova, Battlestar Galactica, Eclipse, Terraforming Mars, and Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Again, which of these is too long? And the choices are Arc Nova, Battlestar Galactica, Eclipse, Terraforming Mars, and Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Go ahead and write down the ones you want. You can pick 1, 2, or 3. How do you want to do it? Bigger risk, bigger reward? Oh, boy. Here we go. Let's click on these results.
Was choice E all of the above?
I know that's true for most of these questions are going to have I think that about all of them.
As when I was a student, I always hated the option none of the above. I always was infuriated by that option on a test because they're like, oh, which of these people invented this? Bum, 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 bum. Or none of them. Like, well, if you're going to put none of them, just ask me who did it. Just make it a short answer.
Yeah. I do love, though, to counterbalance that, all of the above is a wonderful answer. Very easy. Because you're looking at 4 choices and then an all of the above. If I can link 2 of those, I'm like, well, yes, this one. And I think this one, too. So I don't even care about the other 2. I'm like, yes, all of them then. If it's at least 2 people, then it's all of them.
Yeah.
I
love
what
they say
every
A, B, and C, and then choice D is A and B. Choice E is B and C.
That's terrible. Okay, that's not okay. That's math masquerading as multiple choice. All right, here we go, guys. Tom, how many did you pick?
Okay, I'm being a chicken here. I picked 1.
I know what you did. All right, and then BJ, what did you pick?
I went the other way. I decided to go to 3 this time. Why not?
All right, you're going with all 3. Tom, what's your number 1?
TI4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then BJ, what do you got?
I've got number 1 is Battlestar Galactica, 2 is Eclipse, and 3 is Twilight Imperium.
See, I didn't pick Battlestar because I think it's too long. I just think it's not known as a too long game necessarily. Like,
oh, that was the first one that came to my mind when he asked the question.
Oh, I agree, but I think that TI4 is something people would pick. That's my hope, anyway.
All right, so Battlestar Galactica, Eclipse, TI4 is what you said, BJ?
Yep. Again, no confidence.
Starting from the bottom, I hate to disappoint you so early. The bottom answer is Eclipse. You are immediately out, and you will get no points whatsoever. Following that up, Arc Nova. Following that, in 3rd position, Terraforming Mars.
Wow, I was wrong. BSG did go up to the top 2, at least.
And then between number 1 and number 2, one of them has the 2nd place has 15% of the vote. The number 1 answer has 60% of the vote. And it is, of course, Twilight Imperium 4th edition and number 1 spot, which means, Tom, you are getting, I guess the first one doubled is 2 points.
My scoring system worked. I'm tied. I'm back in the game,
your
baby.
Scoring system is garbage. I got to tell you.
I call shenanigans again. Go back to those judges.
I'm telling you, where are the judges? Let's check on this side. Judges? That's just a window. All right. I agree. This game is in what you would call workshop mode, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, let's go ahead and copy this link here and drop it in the comments. Here we go. Get ready for this, folks. Get your clicking finger ready and blam. Follow that link. Give me some votes. The question is as follows. Which of these is most innovative? Which of these is most innovative? And the answers are, alphabetically, the 7th continent. The 7th continent. Captain Sonar. Forgotten Waters. Root, R-O-O-T, Root. And Time Stories. And again, the options are, which of these is most innovative? The 7th continent, Captain Sonar, Forgotten Waters, Root, and Time Stories. Yes. Struggle with your conscience.
My conscience is clean.
Here we go. Folks are voting. The votes are flying in. Very happy with this. Things are changing. Look at this. There's movement. There's motion. Oh, yes. Two of these are about to switch places. No, yes. Very well.
There's nothing more exciting than listening to poll results in real time.
It's so good to watch, though. It's very fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
All right, I think we are good. I'm going to wait till we settle. Now, they're very close. There are some of these that are extremely close. Okay, I'm calling it at 100. Right there. Okay. All right, so, Tom, how many did you pick?
2.
All right, and BJ?
2. Why not? They're both wrong.
All right, Tom, what do you got?
All right, I said my number 2 was Time Stories, and number 1 is Root.
Okay, so Root, I don't know why you gave it to me backwards. Root, Time Stories.
Because I do my top 10 list backwards.
Okay, well, stop it. And then BJ, what do you got?
Number 1, Seventh Continent. Number 2, Root. Just give Tom the points.
I don't know. Seventh Continent, I almost put as 3, but I was too chicken to say as a 3.
That's how I felt about Time Stories.
I think Forgotten Waters is 5. But after that, I'm
Sonar to be in there too.
I know.
All right, so Forgotten Waters indeed is 5. It's the last one. It's the one that isn't really competing with the rest of the pack here. At number 4, Seventh Continent is the number 4 entry, which means, BJ, no points for you right away. So at the very best, Tom and you are going to be tied. Then we go to the next one, and number 3 is Root, which also means Tom is now eliminated. The number 1 and the number 2 answers are number 1, Captain Sonar, number 2, Time Stories, with a decent margin. Captain Sonar is a clear lead. The 3 in the middle, especially Time Stories and Root, are duking it out. But Time Stories has a lead right now. So that means you're both super wrong. And tied at 2 points. Both tied at 2 points. That means we are coming down to the final question right now. And we will see if we can break this tie. If we cannot break the tie, I'll go to the judges and see what we do about that.
Right. They've helped me a lot so far.
I think they're about to come back from their lunch break, so we should be fine. Here we go. This is the final poll, ladies and gentlemen. Click on that. Give me some votes. This question is as follows. Which of these deserves the hate? Which of these deserves the hate?
Please, BZ
alphabetically. That would be great. Alphabetically, they are Monopoly, Phase 10, Sorry, Uno, and Yahtzee. Again, the question is, which of these deserves the hate? Monopoly, Phase 10, Sorry, Uno, and Yahtzee.
Interesting, you did these in alphabetical order, and the first one was an M.
I know. If you titled your game with a letter that appears later in the alphabet, it's more likely to be disliked. That's what I found out in my years of research. That's why my first board game coming soon is titled Aardvark. It's about pirates. Here we go. Let's take a look at these results.
Woo!
Come on now.
This is a hard one.
Yes. Give me those votes. Very nice, folks. Very nice. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. BJ, you ready?
No. Yeah, I've got them.
All right. How many did you pick, Tom?
3. I'm going for broke.
Ooh, that's a strong move. BJ.
2.
Okay, not quite going for broke. Going for a lot.
But he might win, right? Because
debt. All right, here we go. Tom. Actually, I'm gonna go with BJ first here because he's got 2. BJ, what do you got?
Number 1 is Phase 10. Number 2 is Monopoly.
Phase 10 Monopoly. Tom, what do you got?
Well, I have to, by very nature, number 1 also is Phase 10. But then I said Uno for number 2 and number 3 Monopoly because I think there's some Monopoly apologists out there.
If I'd done 3, Uno would have been my 3.
I think Yahtzee is clear number 5 because I think Yahtzee's not a terrible game.
Gotcha. Okay, so Yahtzee is definitely number 5. It has a single vote. So no problem there. Number 4 is Uno, Tom. That means
no!
You are out, pal.
Well, those of you voting don't have children who play Uno every single day their whole lives. And when they have a father with a collection of the best collection on earth, and they still play Uno. Sorry, I'm not better.
You know who that's about?
All right, and then what we are looking for BJ then is Phase 10, then Monopoly. If those two are the top 2, you're going to take it. The number 3 spot is Sorry. So you're fine. Monopoly, though, is definitely number 1. Has 49% of the vote. 49.53% of the vote is Monopoly. And then number 2 is Phase 10. So you have them in the wrong order, but you got the top 2, which gives you 2 points, bringing our grand total score, much like a soccer match, to 4 versus 2 for Tom. You have crushed him, destroyed him, annihilated and liquidated him. You have doubled his score and proven yourself to be the new voice of the people.
I think there might have been too many accolades, but all right.
I disagree, but that's all right.
Let's go to the judges on that, okay? Let me check. There's still no one there. All right, folks, that's going to do it for our showdown. Thank you very much. Let's check out some contributors.
Thanks, BJ.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Here Fishy Fishy, which is another toddler game that my kids just started playing by the rules. So in the game Here Fishy Fishy, everyone gets this player board with different puzzle pieces that you put into the puzzle. Now your goal is to fill this in, but in order to fill in a piece, in the box, there's these different fishes of different colors. And on your turn, you roll the die, and you get a color, and you're trying to get the fish with this magnetic fishing rod. So it's kind of a dexterity game. So like there, I got the red fish. So if you roll the red and you get the red fish, then you get to put in the red puzzle piece. There's also a wild fish. So if you get the glitter fish, then you can put it in any color puzzle piece. And then like if you get one that you've already done, then you don't get a new puzzle piece. But the game is really fun because, the fishing is really fun. This box is already really worn because my kids played with it a lot before playing by the rules. They would just like fishing. They actually would fight over this fishing pole. So if you have multiple kids, beware of that because they all want to use the fishing pole. But it's just fun, like playing with magnets. They figured out what magnets are and being able to try to get the different fish. Also, one of my kids really likes puzzles, so he just liked playing with these pieces. There's 4 of these boards, so when they're all taken apart, there's a lot of different pieces that he can just put into the boards and have fun doing that. But when they're actually playing the game, it's fun too, because they get to roll the die, they get to do the fishing, and then also put the piece in the board if they get the right fish. It's a little sad when they roll a color they've already gotten, and then they can't put a puzzle piece in, or if they miss the fish, they try to kind of cheat and try again instead of ending their turn. But overall, Here Fishy Fishy is a fun fishing game. It's kind of like those carnival games where you're like trying to get the fishies to win a prize, except you don't have to pay extra money each time you play this game. So totally worth it. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about Dimension. This is a fast-paced 3D ball stacking style puzzle game. Each round 6 puzzle task cards are revealed and you are tasked with that egg timer flip to construct basically a pyramid of these chunky different coloured balls. You're trying to do that to complete all of the tasks. Maybe the whites can't touch oranges or must touch them. Maybe you can only use 3, or you have to use all 3 blue balls. You can only use 2 greens. Maybe you can't have anything above a black ball. Maybe you have to have a white ball on top of something. these puzzles come out and create a sort of, at times, head-scratching and at times nice and simple sort of puzzle for you to do. That's got a real sort of sense of satisfaction when you complete it. You play 6 rounds, each time using 6 new and different task cards, which means despite going through a lot of the deck in one game, the combinations of those puzzles are going to be completely different every time you play. I think it could be really good for families because you could make it a little bit easier by using maybe one less puzzle card or something. And it's easy to teach, and the sort of cards from those tasks make it super simple to know what you should and shouldn't be doing, and getting points for using as many balls as you can and trying to complete as many tasks as you can. Anyway, that is Dimension, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Assalamu alaikum. Betrayal at the House on the Hill is a 3 to 6 player game in which you will be going through a haunted house, laying tiles to explore the house, and then when the haunt is revealed, one of the player becomes the traitor. It really doesn't work for 2 players and even not really recommended for 3 players, but for 3 players it still works. But if you're looking for a new way to play it with 2 players only, then there is a 2-player variant file available on the BGG file section. But let me warn you, that 2-player variant file, even though it's called a 2-player variant, it's a completely different game. It's a new rule set which you will be using the components from this game but playing an entirely different game. Now in this one, it's actually the last explorer standing game that you will be playing. In this one, there will be 6 rounds in which you will be exploring the area. And when you explore these areas, you will face different monsters. You will defeat those monsters to add them to your army. So both the players will be doing this, exploring this house, as well as building up their army of monsters. And then in the next 12 round, these monsters and heroes will be battling each other to see who survives and who gets enough keys to actually escape this haunted mansion. And that's what the game is. So it's an entirely different game, but using the same components, you are going to get a new kind of game that you can play out of Betrayal at the House on the Hill if you are just 2 players only. So if you're interested in that, get the 2-player file variant from the BGG file section under Betrayal at the House on the Hill 2nd edition. That's it for me. Happy gaming.
All right, folks, here we go, taking a look at Dice Tower news. So we're going to start off with some sad news here. Kazuki Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, has passed away at the age of 60. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a game we talk about a lot here in the Dice Tower, but definitely is one of the most influential in the big 3 of collectible card games.
Yeah, he was young at 60 too.
Well, it says he was snorkeling. They found his body in snorkeling gear, so they're still trying to figure out what happened. Sounds like an accident, though.
Wow. Yeah, very sad.
All right, so this next game here is called Recto Verso, which just is a weird name. Now, this is a reprint of what's the game again?
La Boca.
Now, I have mixed feelings because, one, Super Meeple's involved in this, and Super Meeple's reprints of games are amazing. Their reprints of Tikal and Tikal, Mexica, and Java are just fantastic.
Cusco now called Cusco. Yeah. No, they do fantastic componentry. That's a word.
Right. So this cover looks great. La Boca, though, is a game I don't particularly like. It's basically a game in which you are picking up building pieces and putting them on a board, but you have to do it with somebody else. So like me and Z are both holding a stick with a hook on it, or sometimes we're both using our heads together. And I don't know why this one didn't tickle my fancy. It's just a big, silly game, but I think I don't know. There's something about the team nature of it which just I wasn't interested in. Have you ever played it, Z?
No, that doesn't sound familiar at all. I mean, I've seen that cover, La Boca cover. I did not realize it was like a silly game.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like the silly thing where you're picking stuff up and also you only see one side of what you're supposed to. So there's multiple sides of this thing, and you see it. So you're picking it up and trying to communicate. Okay, we need to put it here.
Got it.
Maybe they got rid of the head stuff, so maybe that's better.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. In a cute/creepy cover, we have Cosmoctopus. Cosmoctopus.
That is a really hard title to say. I don't love that title.
Cosmoctopus.
Cosmoctopus. Cosmoctopus, I guess is the way.
Cosmoctopus.
Cosmoctopus.
Okay. Anyhow, so there's this cute octopus there who's definitely going to kill you, but he's cute.
He's cute. It's like a cute Cthulhu, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea. All these people at the bottom look like Cthulhu cultists, and this cute octopus from the heavens is coming down. He's adorable, but so large he'll probably hurt you without meaning to. Aww.
Right. Now this the thing that will sell this here is the designer is Henry Audubon, who is best known for Parks.
That's right.
In fact, I just talked to him a couple days ago. Very nice person. And he didn't mention his game. Anyway, you're using ink to build sculptures. And, when I read this, it sounds like Eurogame, the Eurogame. But it's going to crowdfunding later this year.
I'm interested. I mean, I like his stuff. I've played a few of his games. They tend to be very clean designs, very straightforward. He's got a good mind for design clarity. And so this looks neat. It's a weird looking game, definitely a weird title, but I'm interested and curious. I, for one, welcome our octopus overlords.
Oddly enough, here they say that my type here says that this is going to go to crowdfunding in Cosmoctober.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Are there going to be a lot of puns in this one? Oof.
Continuing on our weird named games, we have Reflecto. That's kind of a cool cover,
Harry Potter game.
That's true. When Z's like, I kill you also, and I'll be like, no, Reflecto. Back to you. This is from Roberto Fraga. I like his stuff. It's from Mandu, from Korea. I like that. I'm always intrigued that the Korean names are the same. That's like Reflecto. It's the same word there in Korea. Anyway, you are guessing your opponent's secret word, gaining letters from pawns on the board, which move in a checkers-like manner. And there's mirrored pieces which let you look at letters in opponent's pawns. That sounds cool, actually. I like two-player word games.
Yeah, it sounds like an abstract but word game. That's really cool, and I love that cover. I think that cover is gorgeous, minimalistic, very beautiful. The whole thing is very intriguing to me. Roberto Fraga, for me, is a bit of a hit-and-miss designer. He's one of the most creative board game designers out there, I think. I think it's easy to agree on that. His stuff is very much outside the box.
He makes a lot of kids' games.
He does make a lot of kids' games, but they tend to be very creative. So, that always, you can always, see one of those games and think, this is incredibly outside the box. I respect this game. You don't necessarily always like it. That's kind of where I fall with him. This sounds good, though. I definitely will check that out. Recto verso reflecto.
All right, next we have 1001 Islands. This is a remake of a game called Little Prince Make Me a Planet from Asmodee, a game I liked a lot. But here's the thing. A lot of what I liked about that Make Me a Planet Little Prince was the theming. This theming does nothing for me. In fact, I'm not a big fan of this art at all.
You don't like the art? This is from the artist who does Dixit, you monster.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with saying that. I just don't like this particular style. Also, 1001 Islands. I don't know. That font's a little weird too.
Yeah. I like this theme better than the Little Prince. I have no attachment to the
Little Prince is amazing.
No, the Little Prince is very overrated. I would even I don't hesitate. Garbage. It's overrated garbage, I would say. And any child who's read it, I got nothing else. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna offend somebody.
Well, too late for that. All right. Anyway,
no, it's
I'm
fine.
glad
I retract everything I said. I liked that game though. I used to own it, and I do like it. So I'm actually, I'm interested. I like this more than the original thematically, and I know I like the game already. So I'm in.
All right. Next we have Mistwind. This is from Daryl Andrews and Adrian Adamskew. This is from the company First Fish. So they do about, I guess, one game or so a year or two. They crowdfund their games for the most part. You know, this is kind of a cool cover with the whale as a ship, but am I alone in thinking I've seen this before? Between the name and the cover. Like Mistwind, first of all, is a very, very, it sounds like 10 other games. Although I do like that font a lot.
Yeah.
The flying ship on the cover, I guess it's a whale, so that's different. I don't know. Maybe I like this. It's going to be...
I like it a lot. I think it's an awesome looking cover. I like the setting. It seems to be fantastical. I like the whales thing being, floating and having, I guess, buildings on their back. It does look like masts on the back of the whale, so it is, I guess, supposed to be just some sort of ship that floats. I agree. Mistwind isn't the greatest title. I'm sure it's fine. Once you associate it with this, it'll be fine. Right now, in a vacuum, Mistwind, just generic fantasy enough where it's not sticking. You know what I mean? But again, another great looking game. Another one I'm very interested in. Don't really know too much about it, but.
All right. Next we have, in our confusing name category, Discordia, which has nothing to do with Concordia, or Concordia, I know. This is designed by Bernd Eisenstein, who's probably best known for either Penelope's or Alia Acta Est. Those are probably his two most popular games. And
that one's not his. That second one you said is not his. He just works with the guy whose game that is a lot. They both work on Iron Games a lot.
Well, he's credited as one of the two designers.
Really?
Jeffrey Allers.
I thought Jeffrey Allers was the only designer for that. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
No, but I'm looking at the cover. His name is on it. Z's opinion, Z's knowledge of gaming is not. I'm writing this down.
Okay. All right. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. They work together a lot. I know they work together a lot. Their last big game, I can't remember now what it is, from Iron Games, is one I'm a fan of. It's a neat game, though the artwork in that one I think is okay. I forget what it is. This tile laying game of theirs. This game, I'm not loving the theme as much, but that cover is a stunning piece of art. It almost seems like a classic painting.
Well, I'm trying to find this game that you said you might like. It's not. Is it Carthago? I don't think you played that one.
No, you mean from Pandoria. That's the one. Pandoria is their last big box game.
That also is a cool.
And the artwork on the cover is gorgeous. Actually, the artwork on the cover, the artwork on the piece is not as nice. It's okay. This Discordia, I'm super in. I mean, this is just a great news day for me, Tom. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm loving everything I'm seeing here. Discordia
Someone
looks
just pointed
fantastic.
out in chat that kid is holding dice. Are they?
He's floating dice, mind you, okay? That kid is straight magic.
All right, next we have One Word.
Which one?
You have a deck of cards, and you're looking at the hidden side of your cards. Roll the 9 dice into the color fields in the game box. Think of a word that corresponds to the dice sitting on the 3 colors on your card.
Oof.
And people are trying to figure out your 2 hidden colors.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. I might like that.
It's another. It seems very code names, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm willing to try it. It's one of those games that
I am also willing to try it.
That's a stunning recommendations from both of us. All right. Before we go farther in the news, it's time for your weekly dose of bacon. All right. Now that we're done with bacon, let's continue. All right. We have a new game in the Disney universe, Disney Villains, the card game. That won't get confused with Villainous at all. This is from Leo Calavini, and it's a redone version of that game you see there on the screen. Hail Dork. Maui.
Mau.
Which sounds like it's a Crazy Eights style thing, which also sounds like it has nothing to do with Disney and villains, but hey, why not sell the game?
There you go.
All right, I cannot pronounce this next game. There's so many vowels here.
Aiolos?
That's a cool cover.
The way I say it is YOLO. That is another cool cover. You are right. There's a lot of gorgeous art. Man, I'm telling you. I mean, anyone who says that, games now look the same way they did 20 years ago is just blind. I'm sorry. There's a lot of stunning covers we've looked at back to back to back to back. Gorgeous stuff.
This is, you are trying to build settlements in 7 harbors, construct ships, collect sacred crystals, and use the favor of the gods, which really sounds like that Stefan Feld racing game. What's that one called? But it sounds exactly like it theme-wise. So.
I don't remember what it is, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, cool-looking game coming out at Essen this year.
Sweet.
Then we have Virtu.
Virtu.
All right. This is another one from Super Meeple. This is coming out next month, actually, straight to retail. And you are taking the role of a prince attempting to govern a city as it exits the Middle Ages, which means you're still in the Middle Ages, so whatever. You're employing the art of governance. It uses an original rondel mechanic that lays out technical options as a wheel of cards. That's interesting, though, actually.
Yeah,
a rondel with cards. I like that.
The part I'm a little concerned about is when we get to the back here to the bottom is Virtu is a game for 2 to 5 players, plays in 60 to 150 minutes, and retails for $69.99, so $70. For some reason, the description sounds like a smaller game, right? When you read rondel cards, do some things. It's a big game. This is, there's a lot happening here, it sounds like. And it's the price seems to be there to match, and it's going to be a fairly long game, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours. So I don't know. This one I'm not as excited about this week. All the other ones we've seen just about, except Mau, I am more excited about.
This I'm a little interested in this one. We'll have to see. I like the idea of the card rondel. By the way, the other game we were thinking of from Stefan Feld, someone said in chat, is Oracle of Delphi.
Yes, Oracle of Delphi. That's it.
All right, the next game is Sabika, which is made by the same person who made Bitoku. And this is a multi-rondel game. You want one rondel? Nah, fool. You're getting multiple rondels. And it's something about being in Spain. There's 3 rondels, 1 for the construction of the Alhambra and its gardens, 1 for carving poems on its walls, and 1 for creating trade routes.
I can't wait for the expansion with more rondels. 3 is really not enough.
I know. 3. All right. So Pandasaurus comes as close to copyright infringement as I've ever seen in a game with Nacho Pile. That's pretty close, man.
That is very, very close. That's the that retro look is real close.
And then the other game they have is Wild Style. Now, don't get me wrong. The idea of Nacho Pile, I'm certainly interested in. You're just pulling chips it sounds like a push your luck game. So you pull chips out of a bag, but if you get 2 that are the same, you lose everything you pulled out of the bag. It's made by the same guy who made Happy Salmon and Pass the Pigs.
And then Pass the Pigs? No, Pass the Pandas. Pass the Pigs is like a classic game. Man.
You're right.
Yeah, that guy is like 112 if that's the same person.
In Wild Style, you are racing around to tag parts of town to claim them. As you do this very, very illegal activity that for some reason is cool.
I do like the look of that box, though. That's a very, very neat box.
Panasars knows how to make their games look good for sure.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
All right, Puerto Rico 1897 is a new version of Puerto Rico from Aaliyah. Jason Perez helped work on this. This is as far as I can tell, the actual gameplay is pretty much identical. There might be some minor changes. They just changed the year to where Puerto Rico became independent. So the arguments over the people being slaves in the game, this basically that's not even a thing in this game because Puerto Rico is independent.
Yeah, it kind of shifted the focus. It sort of shifts the focus of who the players represent in the game to the people in the game, where now you would represent farmers in Puerto Rico, farming, gathering those goods, selling those goods, that sort of thing, hiring extra workers to help you out in your fields, that sort of thing. So yeah, it shifts the setting really from not geographically, but chronologically to this year and the sort of POV of the game.
Well, unfortunately, we're continuing on our weird name games because now we have Clever Forever. This is the 4th version of That's Pretty Clever. There was Twice as Clever, then Clever Cubed. Clever Forever is better than Clever Cubed, by the way.
Title-wise, I agree. Yeah.
But also, I got to be honest, I am not as excited about this because I played the other 3, and while they're all good games, it feels like they could just give you a new rule sheet.
Just a new pad, Alma. Just give me the pad. Right. Sell me an alternate pad.
They just score in different ways. It seems, I don't know, whatever. Everyone likes Wolfgang Warsch, so more money for him. Then we have Ticket to Ride Ghost Train. This is coming from Days of Wonder. This is a kids version of the game. Now, they've already made a Ticket to Ride Kids a long time ago. I'm not sure how different this is, but it's a cute cover. I think kids are going to like it, so why not? I'm happy about this.
Seems like a fun Halloween one, right?
But anyway, kids, yay for kids. Let's talk about what we're really interested in here.
Yes.
Heat, pedal to the metal.
That's right. Keep the gaming among the grown-ups in the room.
No, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about this because this is the first big box game from Days of Wonder since Deep Blue. It's been a long time since they've done something that wasn't Ticket to Ride, or I don't remember the last time they've done. It feels like Days of Wonder hasn't done much lately.
Yeah, and this is a new, again, big box with a really neat theme. I love racing games. They do not make very many of those, especially the approachable ones, I guess, right? The designers are exciting. I love the look of that spread on the table. Yeah, and I would be remiss, and I'm sure Mike would just slap me upside the head if I didn't mention that this has Vincent Dutrait artwork.
That's true. Yeah, so these designers have done Flamme Rouge. That's what they're best known for. But also, and Deep Blue, incidentally, which was I did not think much of Deep Blue. But they did Copenhagen, Flamme Rouge, 13 Days, the Cuban Missile Crisis. And this looks like a fun, simple racing game. And honestly, racing games usually fall into one of those two categories. They're fun and simple, or they're overly complex and involved, which doesn't mean they're bad. But I tend to want to play the fun, simple ones.
Yeah. When they get too deep into simulation, they start to lose me. So this looks fantastic.
All right, and our last piece of news here is from Simon. The Boys expansion is coming for Zombicide board games. So if you want I mean, Zombicide's pretty bloody, but I'm pretty sure the boys can find a way to make it worse.
No kidding. This one I did not see coming at all. I spotted this yesterday, actually, while this document was being browsed in front of me, and I was like, wait, what? The Boys, characters from the... And it's from the comic, but they also are, I'm assuming, kind of from the TV show. There's, like, the look of these is a little closer to the TV show, right? The people?
They did it pretty... they're pretty much the same characters. I mean, the plots and things are different, but the characters are the same. These are the 7 here, right? So, yeah, this is kind of the same. And I guess there's also you're going to be able to get the boys themselves. So this is the 7 they're showing here on the cover, but there's also the boys, and they're going to be adding in super abominations, including Homelander as an abomination.
Okay. Yeah, that's neat. It's a neat crossover.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is the news.
Hello, Prodi here, Romanian content creator, and today I will continue my series where I will talk about a specific part of a game, and today we will talk about Bang the Dice Game. Yes, I don't have any box anymore because I fit the dice game and the card game of Bang in the same box, so I put a picture here with the box cover of Bang the Dice Game. The point is, what's Bang the Dice Game? Bang the Dice Game is, let's say, a social deduction party game with dice rolling, and you are attacking. You have different roles, and the bandits try to kill the sheriff, which is announced in the beginning of the game who the sheriff is, who got the sheriff card. And then it's a sheriff helper and the renegade, which has another win condition. So it's quite interesting, and it's a social deduction. You're trying to deduce who are the bandits, who is the help of the sheriff and the renegade, and so on. And in the meantime, you are rolling dice, making the effects, attacking different people. It has player elimination, but the game is really fast and really fun. And actually, if somebody gets out of the game, usually they don't sit long until they can get into the next game. And the card that I wanted to discuss is player, character power, and it's this character here. I really like this one because it's giving me the possibility to not reveal but attack, be aggressive, because it says like this: if you have 4 or less life, you get 2 life for 1 beer. And this is quite interesting because it's giving you the possibility to be more aggressive and then maybe make different people attack you, but you always will have the thing, if you are almost dead, that is giving you the possibility that 1 beer is giving you 2 life, so it's giving you more healing power. And this is interesting too in Bang the Dice Game because you are, besides the roll, you are getting those characters which have special abilities, and it's quite fun. And this is what I wanted to discuss about Bang the Dice Game. Have a nice breakfast.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Doug Jr. from Doug and Doug Gaming, and you're watching a Fellowship of Meeples. So today I'm going to continue my countdown of my top 10 all-time favorite games in the whole wide world. And now we're at number 9, which is... Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy is designed by the well-known designer Stefan Feld. This is a tile-laying game where you will be purchasing tiles based on a die roll, which can be mitigated, and eventually you'll be placing those tiles into your kingdom. When you do that, they will activate and some really cool things will happen. Maybe a building will help you to get another building or to place another building into your kingdom. Or maybe a mine will help you to get some silver. Or maybe some silver will help you to buy some new tiles. Lots of things can happen. One of the most exciting things for me is when I pull off a combo where this causes this to happen and that causes that to happen, so you kind of chain react and you get extra victory points all in one turn. Castles of Burgundy is not a complicated game, but I believe it is a highly strategic game and has a lot of good decisions for you to make, which are definitely going to affect the outcome of the game. I think it scales well. I play it with my wife, just the 2 of us all the time. I also love taking it to game night, playing with 4 people. There are several expansions available, and there's even a new deluxe version, Super Deluxe, that just got kickstarted, which I am also excited about. So my number 9 game of all time is Castles of Burgundy by Stefan Feld. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. And if you have played it, tell me what you think about it down here in the comments. Hey, thanks so much for watching A Fellowship of Meeples. I'll see you next time here on Board Game Breakfast. Bye-bye.
Hi, it's Taryn.
And Stella here from Meeple University. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about war game.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed, I think, in war games, actually in really most games over the last little while, this is a tendency towards shorter game lengths. And what I've seen in many war games that come across our desk is a tendency towards more of a victory point based win condition.
Rather than the 4X, traditional 4X type?
Yeah, more than something that where you set up those big long defensive lines and it's really grind down and get to the point where you force your opposition to resign or you wipe them off the map. Yeah, it's not... I guess it's... those games are still out there, but I think there's more of a trend and more of an appetite for the points-based games.
I think that's true because those games, I think some people would probably find time is more valuable or time is now shorter. There's a lot of other things that you do. And it's victory point or goal achievement or whatever it is, rather than wiping completely other opponents off the board to shorten the gameplay.
Yeah, it does. It changes the style a lot though. It makes it much more tactical. You've got to go out and get your points while you've got the opportunity. So it's not... I imagine this sort of thing is not going to appeal to a lot of traditional wargamers.
Yep. So have you played... Do you prefer the traditional war game or do you prefer the new style of war games? Let us know and what's your favorite. And that's it. Hopefully we will see you again next time. Bye.
And that's it, folks, for another Board Game Breakfast. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you again to BJ for coming on and whooping me in a game.
Yes.
There's no need to nod and solemnly say yes.
Yes,
there.
yes.
Folks.
No, I mean, it's the thing I feel the best about. I like a lot of those board game covers, and the games sound great themselves. But you took a beating, and I'm here for that. Yes.
You caused it. Anyhow, we'll be back today at 2 o'clock, folks, with the top 10 nature-themed games. And yeah, lots of other videos going up. Like I said, if you thought the news was boring today, wait till next Thursday. We got super exciting news coming your way. But until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun getting beat down.